What up? What up? How you doing, man?
How you doing?
Excellent, excellent. How are you doing?
I'm chilling.
Okay, we're figuring this out. It's been a minute since I've done these. 2 weeks off, holidays, Christmas and shit. All right.
No, I hear you, man. I hear you. Yeah, we're just getting things around here too.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So,
appreciate.
how was the holidays?
They were good, man. They were real low key. Obviously, with everything going on, man, I kept it low key and just hung out with the family.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, I just went over to my mom's house and we just FaceTime other family members.
Yep, same here. We did the exact same. Just FaceTime and Zoom call and everybody.
Could you imagine this whole pandemic thing without social media?
People would be going, dude. I mean, going nuts anyway. But
Right?
yeah, they spend hours on their phone. It's like, what the hell? They got nothing.
Exactly, exactly. So for yeah, those don't know you're a rapper from Colorado?
Yeah, man. I'm originally from Oregon, but I live in Aurora, Colorado. So
Okay,
I'm,
okay.
I've been representing Colorado for a lot of years, man. I've been out here a long time making music. So I've been around the scene out for quite some time, man, and continue to put, you know, still been putting out music, still projects, still getting caught up in different stuff. That's why I'm wearing this hat. Got a placement in the DVD. Put it in the DVD. I'm still doing stuff, man, and putting the music out
Sure,
there.
for sure, for sure. How is the Colorado scene like? How would you describe it? Like the Colorado rap scene?
I mean, I think we got a diverse scene, to be honest with you. I've been music for since 2000 tapes, out here. So I've been out here a long time and seen a lot of cycles of music, and I think there's a solid group of people out there that do really dope, high quality stuff. And where else there's a group of people that, kind of fall by the wayside, a lot of quality. There's a lot of talented people out here doing shows and noise. And I mean, there's artists and doing TED Talk, types of stuff, man. So,
For sure.
the time where we were young, saying we were even from here, and it's a real for artists, you know what I mean? They're proud to be from Colorado. I give them props.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Like, and I definitely hear you. On another interview a little while ago, I was talking to a guy about like how you were saying is like you came back into this like for the people that really like love the culture and really like just like it has something stuck with you. Like you see some people come in and they'll try and rap for a couple of years and they're gone. And then like, but you see some people like rap for a good amount of years and then stop and then come back. You're like, yo, like that person loves this shit.
Yeah, man. I was actually an artist reach out to me the other day. We were chopping it up on the phone, and that's what I told him. He was like, "Man, it inspires me that you're still just dropping raw underground hip hop, and you ain't switched up. You know what I mean? Or tried to like switch up or sound new or nothing like that. You just have always kept it funky." And I was like, "Man, I just fell in love with the process, and it ain't never changed for me. You know what I mean? Like I fell in love with the process a long time ago, and I can remember in 2006, I was doing an interview, and I was like, I'm done. I ain't putting out no more albums. I was telling this guy that does a online station out here in the interview. And since then, I put out like 3 projects. I don't think it's in the cards, man. And even last year, I released 2 EP during the pandemic, and did like 5 videos. So like even in a year, I've really been like, I ain't doing no music. I did the most I've done, in a 1 year period. So uh, it's kind of crazy, man. You just, I think, man, and it don't leave.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Like you can definitely probably picture me in like 2030 doing interviews.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
You know?
I don't care that I'm, people, I call yeah, it's old man rap, whatever you want to call it, but I'm busting it down, dude. You know, and like up until the end, when they canceled shows, I've been doing shows for 2 decades on a continual my region. So where I made my mark performing live, not really, like making a hit song or anything like that. It was more like just really gritting it out and doing shows and selling merch and CDs and building up a fan base of people that way, you know, and like having that core crew that was like doing. So when they took that loss, like, man, what am I supposed to be doing? You know, I should be doing shows every weekend, and you know, so it's been kind of a weird transition. Internet, you know what I mean? Like
Oh.
stuff and put it on the internet and engage. Like most of my engagement would be through shows. That was a dope set. You know, here's a CD, boom. You know, so it's been a
How important do you think it is, like, and what are the differences of trying to connect with people, like, in person and on the internet, like, because it's a whole different kind of grind,
I think
some of us are like great in person, you know, like, but they're not, may not be very good at like figuring shit out online. Some people are great online and they're not really that people.
right.
I find that nowadays, if you really want to have like the best fan base now, like you got to kind of have both, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that. And you know, like I said, I was talking to a friend and I had mentioned to him, like, dude, we toured all the region before social media, and that was all on just meeting people on the street and connecting with one person after the next to get it, you know, Wyoming to Montana to Minnesota to Nebraska to you know what I mean, to work us throughout the net. And it was all just hand to hand meeting people. So it was like when the internet came out, I mean, I had been rapping almost 10 years before this was even a thing.
Nice,
Like
nice.
we'd already done, you know what I mean? We've been out grinding, like doing all these shows, and then the internet and it was like, oh shit, we got to figure this thing out. And we were resisting that for a long time. I'm like, man, I ain't fucking with the internet. That seems dumb to me. What?
Yeah,
And finally, like
yeah, here we are, right?
in 2011, finally was like, fuck, I better make a page, you know? And then still,
Yeah,
like, you know, as an, I'm like, I don't really know how to work that thing. Like, I put my stuff on there and it's cool. I
yeah.
built up the years a huge amount. I can make a song and email it to, you know, tons of people. So I still use that strategy. But it's been weird. It's been weird trend.
Yeah, definitely.
But
I want to take it back. A lot of people will say, "Hey, the last couple of shows," and they want to know about the first show. Me, I want to know about the first like out of town show, like the first like where you're like you felt like, yo, I'm traveling to do this show. I want to know like how'd that feel?
I mean, the first time we got booked to go out of town, it was like the most amazing feeling for us. And
For
I
sure.
mean, we drove from Denver to Lincoln, Nebraska, and we opened up for the Two Live Crew, and then
Woo!
acts that were in the Lincoln, Nebraska region, and we opened up for drove out there and we got paid, and they paid for all our stuff, and it was like we were five in my Jeep driving, you know, with the DJ, and like we opened up so super, like we were so geeked because we were like, man, now they ain't even trying to pay us, you know, and like these
Yeah,
dudes, and so it was an amazing feeling. We went out there and people loved it, and it was like we were hooked. You know, it was like all we
definitely.
wanted to do. Like I don't care about nothing but shows, you know.
And like if anybody like the Two Live Crew, yeah,
Yeah,
that'd
it
be
was dope. I mean, in the beginning for us, we had a stretch where we opened up for big acts, man, local talent, you know. But
so.
we these young, and I think that's a big. I mean, a lot of people that are they can't really show prove like they need this. Their shit hot, you know, like
Yeah,
they meet you on the street really. So like, there's a few people that can do that, but they're relying on, you know, rapping over their CDs, all that stuff, and they don't have that breath control and that stage presence. So, you know, they have,
I don't know if there's something wrong with the audio. I keep on hearing you cut out. I don't know.
oh, I'm sorry. Let me see if I get a little closer. Is that working?
Yeah, it sounds good right now.
Okay.
It just sounds like you were cutting out there for a second.
All right. No, but what I was saying is I think that a lot of the, when you come up in that era where everybody is having to rap live, you know what I mean?
Oh, for
Like
sure,
that makes a big difference because, it forces you to get up there and have to really bust. You know what I'm saying?
for sure. You need to learn your breath control. You need to learn how to interact with the fans. Like me, I was a rapper like before I started doing these interviews, and like one thing I always said about my shows, like I always had to take it seriously, me being a big man, I'd always want to move around the crowd. But like by the end of the show, I have like a big V in sweat, you know.
Oh yeah, dude. And I
It's
mean,
like
even I feel that way. You gotta be able to get live and get raw, dude. And like really get down because that's how people connect with you. It's like
yeah,
when you show them who you really are and like you give them that energy, they really connect with you. And like I used to always tell young cats that you can't be too cool for a show, man. You know what I mean? Like you gotta
for
be able to
sure.
get down. Like that's a key element, and a lot of people lose that on the internet because they think, oh, I got a dope song. They post it all day. They jump in your DMs and they think they're like promoting and doing something. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
that's not really earning your stripes, if you feel what I'm saying. It's
like
like,
even for me, like there's people that I know like that want to be on my show,
uh
and
huh.
and they'll just send me a song, but there'll be like nothing else written in there. They'll be like, hey Eddie, check out this song. I really want to be on the show. Blah, blah, blah. If they actually wrote something else like that in there, I'd probably check out the song. But like
Exactly.
they're just sending the link, and like if they do send something, you can tell like it's a copy and paste.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing, man. That's what the internet did to people. Like back in the day, I can remember me and my homies, we'd have to like find the PO box of the joint that was accepting a fucking CD, and then you'd have to send them a demo, and then they would like listen to that shit for like 30 seconds, yo. I can remember going
Mhm.
into a spot one time where they had record people, and like they put our CD in, and homie listened to it for like 30 seconds, and then just shut it off. And like he ended up talking to us after that and asking us some questions about us and our music and everything, but still, it was like you had to know how to approach them and like write a proper letter and all this shit and
Yeah.
package it up and give it to them. And now people just drop a link in your shit and they're like, "Yo, fuck with me, my shit's dope."
Well, you saying that like that's been like a big thing in music forever. If you're not hooked in the first 30 seconds, so like me like I always looked at like certain rappers that were like really good at like their first line in their bar. I think
Yeah,
like Prodigy was one of those that like one of his first lines was always like you're like oh shit like. And there's been certain rappers over time like how important do you feel like the first bar is?
I mean, I think it's super critical, man, because it's really setting the tone for what you're about to do. And for me, when I'm writing, I like to kind of like weave stories into all the stuff I'm talking about. So I
Mhm.
really like to really kind of set the tone right off the jump. So I might sit around for an hour thinking of the first bar. And then after that, it's like, boom, I know, you know what I mean? Like everything
Right.
falls into place after that because it's in your head, but you're like, you just have to get that right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That right first bar out. So I totally agree with that. It's like it's very critical because you want to captivate your audience. You know what I mean? And that's like that artist now, the baby. He's perfect at that, man, because he took all the intros off his shit and it just drops right in on him rapping. And it's because
Yeah.
people they're not trying to listen to all that. You know what I mean? So that first
Exactly.
bar has got to really hit people right. So I totally agree, man.
Exactly. So how do you approach like making a song? Do you you think like, hey, I want to say this in this verse, and I want to say this in this verse, or do you kind of just just start from the beginning and kind of go, oh shit, we're cutting out right now. Hopefully we get back in. Rocking the Spade the Shadow shirt. What up, Spade the Shadow? See who's in here. Yeah, yeah. Boy.
I see you. Oh, we must have lost. I see you.
Yeah, yeah, we're back.
Well, so what were you
Yeah.
saying?
So yeah, we were saying like the process of you ever approach like a song where like I want to say this on this verse, I want to say this on this verse, I want to say on this, or do you say you start from the beginning and kind of like
Well,
go from there?
I mean, really, when I'm doing stuff, man, mostly everything I do, like I'll hear the beats and then I hear the music in it, you know, like the song already is in it. And it's like, I'm that
Mhm.
way when I listen to producers' beats. If they send me some, I listen to it for like 15 seconds. And like, if it doesn't talk to me, I don't even mess with it, you know? And that's
Yeah.
how I select things. Like, I'll pick out my whole album, like these 10 beats are an album, and they'll be like, what? And I'm like, just sit back and watch, you know? And like, it's like what I got right here. Like, I'm working with a producer now, and it's like I'm writing all these songs to his beats, and he was like, how do you know that's an album? And I'm like, because I can already see it in my head, like what I want to say, you know? And he's like, he don't understand that part. And it's like, well, this beat is going to do this song I'm going to talk about that. It's like on my page right now, I put that joint up, Winter in Aurora. Like,
Yeah.
he sent me that beat and I was like, I already know what I'm going to do to that. And he's like, what? And I'm like, watch, you know? So to me, it kind of talks to me, and I see the
Sure.
song and I'm like, there's got to be a beginning and an end, you know? Like, I try not to do a lot of Seinfeld rapping, you know, like I call it, like just rapping about nothing, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
try to make sure there's a story in there, you feel me? So I'm like,
Mm, yeah.
I see it
Most
and I'm
most of
like,
it.
all right, this has got to be 3 bar or 3 verses because I got to end it a certain way. Or like, I got a song on my last project where the first verse I talk about the girl being bad, and then the second verse I talk about the boy being bad, and that's all I needed, you know what I mean? But
Right.
I always see them like that. Like, I don't just start writing and it's like whatever comes to me. I don't operate like that. Like,
Awesome.
I pick the beats out, I know what I want to do, and I'll go in there and like write a whole album in 2 weeks, and then it's over. And then I might not write raps for like 6 months. You see what I'm saying? And then
Yeah.
I'll pick out the beats and then I'll attack them again. And I'll write a project. Like, this project is going to be like, last year I did vintage. And then the next project I did was portraits. You see what I'm saying? So it's like
Yeah.
vintage portraits. And one was blue and one was red. So it's like the blue pill and the red pill. But you didn't know that till it was all done. And then when you listen to it, you were like, oh shit, this dude's telling this whole thing through here. But you had to hear it all, you know?
Yeah.
So I make that shit. You kind of got to listen to it. You know what I mean? Like, I
Mhm.
always talk about that. Like, I make conversation pieces, you know, like I don't make like club bangers and shit. Like, I make shit that you can sit down and be like, this dude says some wild shit, or this dude tells some crazy stories. You know what I mean? So I try to always weave that in there, man. And I see it before I do it. So
That's
it's kind
awesome.
of weird, you know, it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, this song is going to be about this. Boom. You know, this song's going to be about weed. And it's like, before I even write a lyric, it's a weed song. It's going to be about dabbing, or, you know what I mean? So that's my
Yeah.
process, really. I'll get with
Awesome.
someone, I'll hear their beats, and I'll be like, okay, these are what these songs are going to be. And they're like, you're crazy. And then I write those songs to it because I hear it in my head, you know, like,
Yeah.
this shit's about this. This shit's about being grimy, or, you know. So
It's
that's
almost
kind of,
like it's almost like when I watched interviews with Premier when he talked about Gangstar. He's a guru would give him all the titles for those songs, and then Premier would make all the beats to all the titles, and then Guru would write to all the beats.
yeah, and see, that's kind of like my formula, man. Like, I got an album coming out right now, and all the track listing and everything is done. And like, I've only written half the songs, but I already know what the songs are about. Like, I already
Yeah.
know what they are. I just haven't written them yet, you know? And that's how it is when someone sends me a feature, you know? Like, I hear what they do, and then I'm like, all right, I'm about to do that to it right now, you know? So I'm
Yeah.
just real precise. Like, I don't really have a rap notebook that I carry around. Like, I don't really sit down like, oh, I need to write some raps today. You know what I mean? Hey, what's up,
Yeah.
man? Hey, guys. I don't really do anything like that. I just, like, I'm real precise. Like, I'm going to make an album, and then I make it. You know what I mean? So I don't
That's
like
good.
linger around with shit. You know, like, people will work with me and they think it's the craziest thing in the world because, like, it just spills out of my brain, and then I won't fuck with it. And then I'll come back a couple months later, like, let's get back to work, you know, and do more shit. And so it's like a weird purge, you know. I always call it like my art purge. And like when I'm doing that, like I paint a lot. So like my closet here is just filled with paintings and shit because it's like all kinds of crazy art just goes through my head and I just like splurge it out and then it's gone, you know? And then I wrap it up in a CD and you know what I'm saying? And then bang, bang, people get it.
That's dope, man.
When we're
I,
done, Eddie, you got to give me your info, man. I'm going to mail you a dope care package.
oh, dope, dope, dope. That's a dope process, man. Like, I really appreciate that. Like, cause like, it just shows the love for it, like in the creative flow. Like me, like I always felt the same way about like when I heard beats like before too, and like I was always like, yo, like this beat, like, you gotta go off the vibe of the beat, right?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
you don't want to fight against it, because then like you're, you know, it's the music that like is 50% of the song, right? Music is 50% of the song, so like you want to go with what's already going on, right?
Yep. I mean, that's totally how I feel. And like I talk to producers and they're like, I want to send you beats or something. I'm like, don't send me no tight beats, you know, like, and if it is like a French Montana type beat, delete that before you send it to me because that'll fuck my head up. You know what I mean? Like, because it'll make me
Yeah.
think like it's supposed to be like that, you know?
So how do you go about finding producers?
Well, dude, this last year, I was like testing on Instagram and I was running random sponsored ads. And I just started having dudes tapping in with me left and right. And they were like, yo, man, let's do this, let's do that. And I got a lot of material from those cats. But when it came down to like doing my official album and whatnot, I stuck with like the people I knew, like locally and all that, that I trusted and knew that I've worked
Yeah,
with. Um, and you know, I'll get beats off dudes on the internet and stuff like that, but like I won't really release them like officially, you know. I might do some like mixtape joint and like just put it up on my
yeah,
IG or whatever, you know.
yeah.
But yeah, when it comes down to it, man, I'm still dealing with people I was dealing with a decade ago, like when it
You
comes
just
to
want to
making
lock
my
in with these people
records.
and like kind of um almost like do you ever like sit down with like producer and be like, hey, like when they're making the beats, and you ever like say, hey, I kind of I want this and I want that, or you just let the producer do their thing?
I've always kind of let them paint however they want to do stuff. And then I feel like I just fill in the space. You know what I mean? Like I'm like
Yeah,
coming in like another layer of the instrument and like trying to fill in the space in the beat the correct way. But yeah, I mean, I kind of like let them do their thing usually. And most producers that approach me, it seems like they've studied how I rap because if you listen to how I rap, you can't really pinpoint like who I sound like, you know, or like what my cadence is like. And so most of them kind of listen to me and then they're like, I got something. The emails will usually start off like, yo, I got the perfect beat for you. You know what I mean? And it's
yeah,
like they've listened to me and kind of studied my flow. So they send me something that will fit correctly. And so I usually always go back to what I know when it comes to those guys, like when I'm really serious about my projects or like the song Winter in Aurora. Like I knew I couldn't do that over no just random tight beat off the internet. I'm like, this has to be something official from someone I know. You know what I mean? That way it's
yeah,
just 100% just crispy, you know, from the top to the bottom. So I've always had that
mm,
trust issue kind of a little bit because you know, in a sense when I'm recording stuff, I don't really let people watch me rap. You know, like I go in my own spot and record my vocals, and I'll send them to you and shit like that. So I always
okay,
kind of keep that mystery. Like I'm not a dude that's in the studio with a bunch of people. Like I'll get up at
okay, yeah,
6 in the morning and record my vocals dead sober, and then send them to you. Like here's my vocals, you know, because I'm not trying to hang out in politic like that. Like I don't really do that, you know. So my style is kind of mysterious and shit like that. Like I just send you the vocals, like boom, here you go. You know what I mean? And so that's how I work with a lot of people, man. I mean, they don't even really interact with me. It's like, yo, we're gonna do this track, and I'll send them vocals, and I might go to the studio with them, but I'll send them vocals that I record on my own. You know what I
right,
mean? Like in my own comfort zone.
right,
So I go
exactly.
back to those producers too, you know, that I trust.
Definitely, like I always liked maybe like when I was recording songs, I didn't have anybody. I didn't have a problem if anybody was there when I was actually recording them. But when I'm like but I do a rough copy at home, I do a rough copy at home, and then I kind of like learn like the whole rough copy, master it, and then go. So like
Mhm.
so I pretty much I already knew exactly what I wanted to do before I got there, right?
Yeah, and that's very similar to what I do because I will like in my room I'll make a full record, you know, like the whole thing
Yeah,
exactly how I want it, and then like what you see here, like I showed you earlier, those pieces of paper, then
yeah,
I'll like print them out and write in like where I want the precise highlight and like what the sound effects should be, and you know
yeah.
all that secondary stuff, and then kind of make it a final, you know, go back and make it a final thing. But yeah,
Do you,
I've always been
do you re-record the vocals? Like, do you just kind of like do like a record of the vocals, and then listen to that back, and then go back and re-record the vocals?
Yeah, I'll usually do like a one take Jake, you know what I mean? And just do
Yeah,
like a one taker all the way through. And then that way I don't get stuck on how something sounds too good or whatever. And I'll just do like a one take through to where I can listen to it and know like that's the way it should be or it shouldn't be. And then I'll start going back in and like really fine tuning the lyrics and doing that kind of stuff.
yeah,
And usually a lot of that process I do all by myself. You know, I just go through them and go through them and go through them until I get them just how I want them. And then I'll give it to somebody to mix or do whatever with, you know.
yeah. What programs you record on?
I usually record on Pro Tools or Cubase, depending on where I'm at. So some studios Pro Tools, some studios Cubase. So I use Pro Tools here.
Okay,
So, you know, I mean, we're using all the same stuff, man. I mean, we have, you know, I got a real simple system. I mean, a mic, a mixer, and a, you know, a Pro Tools setup. It's like nothing too crazy.
yeah,
And I've never really honestly been a big, like, let's go to the studio guy. Like, that's
right.
not really me, you know, like I come from like, it's a mystery, you know, like I'll do all my stuff and not post none of it online until it's done, you know, and then it's like, boom, here you go, you
Get
know?
it.
So that's
Yeah,
kind of how I like to roll with my music, man.
yeah. We were talking earlier about the shows, and like you mentioned the merch. Um, how important do you think like merch is in like the whole like scene? Like you see, I got the Eddie GTV shirt back there. But like
Well,
how important do you think merge is in the whole like game?
I mean, I think it's huge, dude. I mean, you got to have people obviously that want to get the merch, but I've always come from, you know, you got to have product. I mean, like we've been saying that forever, like product out the trunk, dude. Like, you know, you got to have something to put in people's hands, and like I mean, if all this digital shit goes away, what you got, dude? Like, you know, people's like tap into my SoundCloud. It's like, what do you mean, dude? I ain't tapping into that shit. Send me, you know, like give me a CD. I want a hard copy. And I mean, to me, that shows you're serious. You know what I mean? Like any old Joe Schmo can go in his room and make a song and post it on the internet. I mean, they've given the key to all these Looney Tunes to do that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so
Right.
they've got it watered down. So it's like you want to separate yourself from everybody else. You get yourself product. You have a unique piece of merchandise. You have something that's not just the regular old thing, and you know it changes everything. And I think people hold that in a little bit higher regard. I mean, 10 years ago I was doing shows and every performer would have a merch table, and I mean in 2019 I was doing shows and no one except us had a merch table, and it's just like tap into my SoundCloud or go to this or that, and I'm like, bro, what happens if they take away the internet? Don't you want your, you know, don't you want to have your tapes and
Yeah,
shit? And so
yeah.
I've always been a big fan of that, like, you know,
Or
back in
at
the
least
day.
or at least even because like a lot of people do listen to the music on online now. At least have like the shirts and hoodies and kind of stuff. Like like at
Absolutely.
least have that stuff,
Well,
right?
yeah, and that's what I was gonna say too. It's like back in the day, yeah, you'd rack off 1,000 CDs and go sell them or whatever. And nowadays, it's like it's smart. You do a short run. I mean, the CDs I did last year, I did short runs, just 100 copies of the CD, and like we do a lot of made-to-order products because we have the ability to print, you know, in our shop. So it's like we have the ability at my buddy's place to print the stuff, so we can do made-to-order where it's like, yo, this is the design. Who wants it? You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
do short runs so it keeps it, you know, whereas back in the day we might order 100 t-shirts and have all that stock. And then now I've just kind of switched my game up to where I might get 100 CDs and then be like, yo, if you guys want the shirts, you got 2 weeks to get your pre-order in. But as long as you're still giving people an option to support you, I think it makes sense, you know. And especially like now they're making websites to where you don't even really have to have product, you know. So having something is always cool, and having something that's unique is even better, you know? Shit that's outside the box, man. So I think it's a
Even,
great idea.
even having product like when I first started having my shirts, it was cheaper to buy one color if you get like a whole bunch, right? So I got a whole bunch, and now I got a whole bunch of red shirts, and like everybody wants all the other colors.
Yeah, man, and I mean, and that's how it goes. That's how it goes too. So it's like
Yeah, like
you,
everybody
you
wants the black shirts, everybody wants the white shirts, the blue shirts, everything else, but the red shirts, and I got a whole bunch of them.
yeah,
You
and you
know?
get caught. That's another thing about the merch game. You get caught up in that. So it's like you got to create the demand. You know what I'm saying? You got to create the demand to provide the supply. And like I always used to look at the shirts. We did the same thing back in the day. We'd have racks of these shirts, and then I was like, man, I just started giving them to people. Like, well, at least they're wearing my shit, and
Yeah,
they're, you know, and they're getting it out there. But shit, even now, I mean, last year, dude, I mean, right here, I got 3 CDs I put out last year and a cassette tape. So I mean, I'm still doing product
yeah,
line, you know. I mean, I'll do a short run on a cassette tape and then sell it for $20 or whatever, and you know, make a couple dollars. And then when people see it at a show, they're blown away by it and they want to buy it. And so, I mean, I've always been a big fan of merchandise and shows. You know, get your ass out of town. Like everybody knows you on the block, dude. You know what I mean? Like go
right.
somewhere else. Like go somewhere else, travel around. And that's always been what I've encouraged every artist I meet to do. Like every OG I ever met in the game, like that I considered an OG, that's exactly what they told me. You know what I mean? So I always try to pass that shit down. Like you
For
ain't gonna
sure.
get nowhere. I mean, you can't rap at Bill's bar down the street every weekend and think that shit's gonna get you popping, dude. And even if you pack that place out every weekend, it's like, dude, that's only gonna get you so far. You know, you
Right.
gotta jump in the whip and drive around with your homies and give away stickers and do cool shit like that and get people to, you know, get you buzzing.
Exactly. Exactly. Um, yeah, like I find you have to have a good price and have lots of colors, and
Yeah.
like so then people can pick like they're like, oh, like people be like, oh, I don't know, but then like, oh, you tell them, hey, I got black, I got red, I got blue, I got orange, I got pink, I got purple, I got, you
Oh
know, and then
yeah.
all of a sudden their eyes just light up and they'll be like, oh, that one, you
Hmm.
know?
That's exactly right, man. I mean, you know how it is. People want choices, man. They want to be able to, you know, get stuff they like and all that. So I definitely encourage that, man. I mean, again, it's like you're a business technically. So if you're not willing to invest in your business, like, I mean, shit, dude, you know, you can't, rap ain't free. You know what I'm saying? Like, entertainment ain't free. And it's like, especially as a young, if you're a young underground cat, it's like, I know this kid. He's like 17. He's trying to get his raps off, and I'm like, just get you a sticker. At least give a sticker away to people, and then they're gonna take you a little more serious than you like trying to tell them to type something into their phone every time you see him. I'm like, that's dumb, man. Like, you know,
Right? Like
and you're I'm like, and your stuff is dope, you know, and like people are gonna be put off by that. So, you know, even the littlest things, man, they work.
like uh like prior prior to the internet at shows, like those same type of people that like don't want to put in the work. How many of those people were trying to rap like or write like right in your ear?
Oh yeah, I mean that's how it goes, man. I mean, it's amazing. For some reason, someone made everyone think that they could, you know. And I mean, I ain't saying I'm the best rapper in the world or nothing, but I mean, they opened up the door and everyone just thought they should jump in the game. And you know, that's the problem. When I grew up and when we first started rapping, if you went to a show and you were whack, motherfuckers would leave. They turned their back on you. They'd walk out. You know,
Right,
dudes go up now and they'll fucking do a damn karaoke set over their vocals, and people will get off stage and be like, "Your shit is lit, homie." It's like, no, your shit is not lit, homie. You
right,
know what I mean? Like, you are
right,
not lit, bro. Like, your outfit is lit, but your raps are not lit. Like, your song might be lit on the internet, but if you can't rap that shit live, and then they always say,
right.
well, JayZ raps over his lyrics live. Well, motherfucker, he's a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Actually, like I actually watched a thing with JayZ. He was on a stage at the So Def thing, and like they started his music to play, and it had the vocals on it. Then he was like, "Hold up, hold up, hold up," and he's like, "Yo, I don't." He's like, I don't mess with it with the vocals." And right there, I'm like, "Yo, that's dope." That like somebody as big as JayZ was like hey man, I ain't doing it like that.
Well, yeah, man, and I mean everyone can do what they want. I'm not. I don't want to sound like some type of hater, but what I'm trying to say is like I'm twice some of these kids' age, man, and I can spit
Right.
flow, not run out of my breath. And these 22-year-old kids jump on stage and they sing over their lyrics, and it's just not a good. It's not a professional look. Like
Yeah.
in my honest opinion, it's not a professional look. So I just think that you should, if you can't. I used to say this. I used to jump up and down like in one spot, like I'm jump roping, and I'd spit my raps. You see what I'm saying? To
Oh
where I'd
yeah.
have my breath like going, like
Yeah.
you're really doing a show. And I'm like, if I can't bust my shit off like this, I can't do it live. So I would
Right.
find the songs that I
No,
can do
for real.
live like that rather than being up there looking like you don't know what you're doing. But that was my practice. You know, I'd stand there and I'd just go, you know, and spit my shit and just jump up and down like that. And
Yeah,
and that gets you going, like you really
for
getting
sure.
on. And that helped me a ton because it taught me, man, you can't rap that song live. Or it taught me when you rap live, you might have to take certain bars out or like certain words in a bar out to
Mm,
fit right for breath control for a live show. And a lot of people don't get that part. You see
right.
what I'm saying?
One thing. Shout out to my brother Ross Burns at his house. He has a bunch of mirrors set up,
Mm-hmm.
and he has the mics all set up in the room. So like when like prior to the like even going to the show, we're performing we're performing looking in the mirror, like holding the mics, and we're figuring out we're like so this is how the crowd is going to see us when we're performing, right?
Well, yeah.
So always like before shows we'd always rehearse in front of these mirrors, you know?
Well, absolutely, man. I mean, you got to think about it. It's like you're going to do a show, people are going to be seeing you. You have to be cognizant of all that shit. And like a lot of people think me and my homies rehearsed last night, but they really just sat around smoking blunts, drinking and talking shit. And it's like
Yeah,
that ain't rehearsing, you know what I mean? You know, rehearsing is rehearsing like you're saying. And a lot of that got lost, you know, in a certain time period. And so I think people are starting to get back to that because they're starting to realize, like, dude, if I can't bust live, man, I can't get no girls, player.
and like I always said too, doesn't matter like how many people are there, like man, if you just like if you're starting out and you're performing in front of five people, if you give it your all, like one of those people might be like your like a lifetime fan.
Oh yeah, 100%, man. I mean, I always agree with that. You got to go 110% all the time, man, no matter what. Because, like I said, dude, I've opened up for some very large acts and some in front of some crowds that I was like, holy fuck, I don't deserve to be here. And I've been in places where no one showed up except my homegirl and the DJ. So it's like I've been in both scenarios, man. And I think you know either way, you just got to go balls out. It's like you kind of got to go balls out and give it your all because people respect that, man. Like I don't think I make the dopest raps at all, and I got homies that are way doper than me. But when we do shows, people are always like, "Yo, you be getting your raps off," you know. And it's like that's the point, you know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah,
why we doing this to get our raps off. So I
yeah,
encourage, dude, product, performance, you know what I'm saying, and be prepared, dude. You know what I mean? I mean that's the game, dog. If you're prepared and you got product and you put on a dope performance, you're gonna sell, dude. You know, that's just the way it works. And when you're not prepared and you don't have product, you ain't gonna sell.
that's 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 all the gems right there. That's all
I
the
mean
gems
that,
right
yeah.
there.
I mean that's real. It's real simple science, dude. I mean, obviously you got to
Uh,
have good product, but shit.
yeah. So, who are some of the people that you've opened up for?
Who are some of the people that I've opened up for?
Yeah, like,
Two Live Crew. Let's see. Two Live Crew. Let's see. Nappy Roots. Um,
woo.
um,
There though.
Meth and Red. Um,
Nice.
a lot of people do. Jizza, Slick Rick,
Woo.
Sadistic,
How, how was
Cage.
how was Slick Rick? I never seen him. I never seen him live.
I mean, dude, that was like 15 years ago, bro. But like, it was fire. That was when we were first getting it cracking, and I couldn't believe I was even when my pants were baggy as hell, and I couldn't believe this shit was even going down. You know, So yeah, all that shit was dope, man. I mean, like monetarily, I don't ever believe like my rap career isn't monetary, you know what I'm saying? Like my shit is about the moments, dude, and the memories like that I was able to obtain.
Yeah,
Like I mean, like what I'm wearing here, this Storm Show shit, it's like a DVD company that does ski movies. And dude, for like the last 10 years, I've had placements in there. I mean, they got world class ski movies they put out, and like my music's in there, and people don't even know who the fuck I am. But like
yeah,
going to Jackson's Hole all those years and spending time with those people, and like, you know, those are big wins, man. I mean, I started
for
fucking
sure,
around with
for
rapping
sure.
because my brother and them skateboarded, and there was raps and skateboard movies, and I was like, dude, that shit's
Yeah,
dope, and I can't skate, so I'm gonna try to rap. You know what I mean?
right, right.
So it's
Yeah,
like everything else is a fucking bonus, man. Like I didn't get in this shit to be like, oh, I want to be famous, I want to be rich. Like that's fucking stupid talk, dude. You know,
yeah.
I got
So
these. Yeah, I mean, you trying to be hot on the block. Like I wanted my homies to think my shit was cool, and like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
so everything else is a bonus, bro.
for sure,
You know,
for
I
sure.
mean,
Yeah. So I want to ask, like, who is the coolest rapper you met? Like when you're a fan of a rapper and you met him, you're like, oh man, this is cool in like real life as well. You know,
shit, Bubba Sparks, man. He
Bubba
was
Sparks.
he was fucking super cool, dude. And
Like,
yo, once real shit, man. One time, Bubba Sparks and Big Gip, we opened up for Bubba Sparks and Big Gip from Goody Mob,
yeah.
and it was in Denver. And fucking Big Gip brought CeeLo Green to the fucking show, and CeeLo
Wow.
Green watched our show, man. And like we got to politic with those dudes, and it was just the wildest thing in the world, dude. But
That is
yeah, Bubba,
crazy.
Bubba Sparks was legit, man. The promoter was trying to get funky, dude, and Bubba Sparks was, you know, he handled his business very well. And I was like, this dude is the shit, man. Like, he's a
Nice, nice.
super fucking cool cat, you know. So yeah, I mean, Bubba Sparks was hella cool, bro. The dude, Fish Scale from Nappy Roots, he went by the name Fish Scale.
Yeah.
He was super cool, man. Those dudes were mad cool. We were in a hotel with them, and they just treated us with respect, dog, and were nice to us, and you know what I'm saying, and like
Right.
complimented on our set and shit. So I always thought they were fucking dope, dude. Like hell yeah, them fuckers are, you know, cool, man. They
Yeah.
showed love. They watched us perform. You know, shh, be quiet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely a great feeling when you're a fan of somebody and you meet them and they're cool as fuck. You know, like it's definitely there's definitely the other way around where it's like, oh man, like you just kind of
well,
ruined it.
well, yeah, man, and like I met a dude. I met Sunspot Jones from the Living Legends, okay, and he and I met. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he and I met like 10 years ago, and then we ended up doing a bunch of songs together, and like I got featured on one of his songs, and then that ended up really like getting a bunch of people to follow me and pay attention to what I was doing because they were curious of who I was because he already had a following. So it was like meeting people like that, and then years later, still being able to be like, "What's up, man?" and like be cool with them is like it's wild because it's like growing up, you're like, damn, this dude's tight, you know, and then you like kind
Yeah,
of, you know, it's not like you're like fucking tight ass boys and talking every day, but when you see each other, it's love, or like if they
for
come
sure.
to Denver, they call me, you know what I mean? So that
Yeah.
shit's dope, man.
So yeah, man, like it's definitely like a great feeling. Um, so you got Six was here. Is that the next?
Yeah, the new shit I'm working on is called Six Was Here. Like I said, man, we already got the track list together. I actually got merchandise here at my house. I'm not going to show you because no one's seen it yet, but I already got merchandise here and a lot of dope stuff that I'm gonna release some pretty cool stuff. I got like an 11 by 17 frame print that's gonna go with this album and a lot of cool different things. Um, and I'm almost done with it, man. We just put the Winter in Aurora video up on Monday, and I've been fucking with some claymation, so we're working on a claymation video for the next one. And I just got a brand new music video, dude. We're gonna put it up tomorrow, so you got to come check my page. It's called 2020, and this
For sure.
guy just sent it to me and I featured on it. It's crazy, dude. And we're on there just talking shit about, you know, current events and whatnot. But it came out super crazy. But the next focus for me is Six Was Here. So that's the next big focus for me is Six Was Here. That's an album produced by a cat named Locon. He goes by
Okay.
the name Locon. He's from Denver too. He did all the production. So It'll be done soon, man. It's real fire. I really tried to concentrate on this album and only tell stories. Like every song is a story. Like it's no fluff rap, no fluff shiny bars. It's like I really was like I would rather my shit be a dope story than like flow perfectly type of shit. So I really kind of it's a little bit different than the normal stuff I do, but I'm really excited about it, man. I think people are gonna feel it because it's real relatable shit, man. It's just like every day, you know, my homie did this or she did that kind of stuff. So I'm stoked about it, man. So I hope everybody checks it out.
Dope, dope. I want to talk about the claymation, like the clay, like
Yeah.
the clay. Yeah. So like, how'd that idea come about?
Shit, man, just during quarantine, dude, I fucked around and bought some clay and I made a few claymation little skits and like made some beats and shit and put them on there and then put them on my IG and people were like, oh, that shit is dope, homie. And
Yeah.
then I got the idea, well, I'm going to do a whole video, right? And so I got all the set is entirely built right now. Like the car, the buildings, everything is completely built. And I just got to make me out of clay. I made a template, like a
Yeah.
prototype of me out of clay and everything, and it worked great. So now I got to make an official one. I got the song and everything and put it together. And on my page, I put up like 3 claymation videos
Yeah.
already. And
Yeah. I like those.
this one is like, I learned a lot from doing that. And this one like is really legit, dude. Like the shit looks
Nice.
tight. I got the mouth moving and all that shit, dude. So like,
Oh shit. Okay.
I figured it out. So I'm gonna put that video out next. That's gonna be like the next from the album video.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward
I'm
to that.
working on it, man. Even my slow old ass is still working on it, dude. You know, one thing at a time, bro. Still having fun, dog.
Definitely. Definitely. Um. Yo, do you have any questions for me?
How'd you find my page, dude?
How did I find your page?
Just searching around or what?
I think I was just on like one of those I think it was like or people tag like artists like
Oh yeah,
when people say oh tag an artist.
yeah.
I think I was looking through some of that stuff and then like I was just listening to a bunch and I'm pretty sure that's how I came across you.
And you're in Canada, huh?
Yeah,
That's what's up, man. That's where I get all my CDs and tapes printed.
nice, nice.
Yeah, all my shit says made in Canada on it. I'm like, man, all right, I guess you can put made in Canada on my shit. Yo, man, my grandpa's from Canada, bro. My grandpa was a Canadian Mountie player.
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah, dude. So I got a little Canadian in me, you know what I'm saying? I might have to get
Nice.
dual citizenship because they got America fucked up right now.
Yo, um like right now like man like what how do you feel about everything going on like with the States like
I mean,
it's a
I'm
crazy time.
I'm anti-racist, so I think these people are just dumb, you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't about none of that shit, bro. Like I'm not into
For sure.
politics really, but I'm not into being a racist scumbag, you know what I'm saying? So I denounce all that shit, bro. Like I don't got no, you know, I mean, I ain't with none of that. I don't support none of that shit. I mean, fuck, dude. I work in the business of black culture. You know what I mean? Like, and
Right.
I've been doing it over 20 years, man. Like, I'm not young, you know. So I've
Yeah.
been witnessing and watching this shit for a long fucking time, dude. And yeah, I ain't fucking with it, man. And like, as far as I'm concerned, that bad energy needs to stay far away from me and my family, you know, because my family ain't raised like that, you know. We're not raised to treat people that way or be disrespectful of anybody, dude. So yeah, I ain't fucking with it, man. You know, I'm not fucking with it at all, dude. These
For
people
sure.
they've lost their marbles, homie.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, I ain't fucking with that shit either. That's just some fuck
And I mean, as far as
shit.
I'm concerned, like I'm the type of dude. I mean, like I said, I got a new song coming out, and I speak on that shit. It's like, yo, if I see you choking a motherfucker, I'm gonna jump on your ass. Like that's just
Mm.
the way it is, dude. You know, fuck all that. Like
Me like
I'm not
yeah,
gonna videotape no one getting killed, man. I'm gonna take action, bro. You know.
I feel that. I feel that. I'm not gonna videotape. uh, uh, like imagine like not even just like having that on your conscience. Like, yo, I just sat there and filmed when this guy was dying. Like, I could have done something.
Yeah, I ain't about all that, dude.
Imagine having that on your conscience. Like, no way. I don't want that on my conscience.
Nah,
You
man,
know?
I'm not about that life. If I see some shit like that, I'm stepping in. I mean, dude, in April 8th of 2000, I was beaten and assaulted by the Aurora Police Department, and that's on record, man. And I mean, they put stitches in my face and beat the shit out of me because they thought I had drugs and was doing this and that, and it was not the case at all. And so I totally don't understand, but I 100% sympathize. You know what I'm saying? Like I will never understand that full to the full magnitude, but I certainly know what it feels like to feel helpless and feel like you're getting stomped out and there's nothing you can do about it. So yeah, I mean, I'll never support or condone any of that stuff, man. And I mean, if it's around me, it's on site. As far as I'm concerned, I will definitely get involved. You know?
How is I know like the like every state and every like province up here is treating Corona differently. Like us up here in Canada, like it seems like we have a way better like grip on it, on like how we're handling it compared to the states. How is it there compared to like you guys feel like your state has a better grip on it, or do you think?
Nah, man. I feel like they don't have a grip on anything. I mean, based upon what's being put out there, I mean, it pretty much seems that way too. You know, I mean, they don't have control, and they're trying to let everybody do their own thing, and it's just, you know, people are very disrespectful. And I mean, there's a lot of where I live. There's a lot of older people in the community, and people, you know, they're not taking heed to a lot of the warnings. And you know, here where I live, I mean, we're in that hot zone right now. It's like a red zone where I'm at. So I
Oh shit.
mean, yeah, I mean, you're not really even supposed to be doing shit or anything like that. But, you know, these people don't care, man. I mean, empathy and love for one another is something that people have lost touch with, dude, because everybody's trying to be so fucking cool all the time, you know? And it's like, I'm not with that shit, dude. Like, I love my homies and my people, and I don't want no one to suffer. So I respect all the laws and shit like that. Even if it seems crazy, I wear my mask and do what's right. And, you know,
Yeah.
because it might not be me, but it might be somebody else, man. And so, yeah, as far as the way the states are handling it, they're not handling it, I don't think, very good at all, man. They
No.
got they're all fucked up. For real, bro. So it's unfortunate, man. And you just got to hang on tight.
Yeah. For here, like all our stores are like curbside, um, curbside stuff. We can't actually go inside the stores. Um, uh, Grocery stores were only allowed like a certain amount of people in them at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to wear the mask, and I think it's a great thing. I think
Yeah.
you know, let's really buckle down and kind of like and fight this shit, because like man, like it's getting to the point where it's annoying. It's like, yo, let's just really do the right thing so we can get past this and move on to a better life. You know, like
Yeah, and I think that's how we feel too. It's like a lot of us just feel like, dude, shut this thing down and let's get on to the next thing because what we're doing now ain't working, you know? Like it doesn't seem to be working and people are continuing to be sick and all that. So I think everywhere you go, man, I mean, North America, South America, you know, every country, dude, they're all fighting that same battle, man. And I think it's like I tell my family, it's about us. We got to police our own household, man, and like be in our household educating ourselves. That way we don't fall victim to the okey doke too, you know. And that's really all you can do, man, is, you know, do it within your own household and hopefully that shit spreads.
yeah, I definitely like the second I start feeling sick, I'm shut down. I ain't going nowhere.
Nope.
If I feel fine, I'll still move around to what I can do right now. But like, yeah, if I start feeling sick, I'm locking down. I'm staying in.
Nope.
You
I'm
know?
the same way, man. I mean, we respect all the guidelines here just like that in my household, and that's just how we're rolling until further notice, man. And you know, like I told you before, I'm learning how to transition. It's like we ain't doing shows, so we're figuring out new ways to be on the internet, more videos, more content, shit like that. and you know, we're figuring out ways to keep, you know, keep it moving, dude, and keep doing what we like to do. And other than that, man, it's like you got to hunker down and hang tight with the fam, dude, because that's all we got right now. You know, these people out here are wilding and climbing walls and, you know, killing people
Yeah,
and doing dumb stuff, man. So I'm trying to
yeah,
stay far away from that, man, you know.
sure, for sure.
Well, I really appreciate you, Eddie.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
You know,
Uh,
it means a
I
lot to me,
definitely,
man. Us getting a chance to talk, dude.
for sure, for sure. I definitely enjoyed this. This has been a great talk. Definitely, definitely got some gems in there. Definitely got some gems in there. And
Yeah, man. And send me, when you get off, send me your address, dude, or anybody, if you watch and tap in with me, send me your address and I'll send you a CD pack and some free shit.
awesome, awesome. I'll
Yeah, tap
definitely do
in
that.
with me, man. Send me your
All right,
address and
man.
I will I'll ship you something dope.
Dope, dope, man. Definitely thank you for being on the show. And definitely, anytime you got new stuff coming up, you wanna come back on, just let me know.
Yeah, for sure, man. And everybody, if you watch and tune into my page tomorrow, I'm gonna pop up another video you guys can check out. And I'm gonna talk a little shit about the cops and what's going on in the world today.
Talk to him. Talk to him. All right.
I love you
Peace.
guys, man. One love, dude. Peace.
All right. Peace.